Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cherso and today I'm finally back with a brand new video. I decided to take a little bit of a break only because my reading was not it. I was in such a big slump. It felt like every book I was picking up was just mediocre, and I just didn't have the energy to bring videos out. So I didn't want to bring out videos where I wasn't really liking, so I just decided to take a little break. But we're back and I'm so happy to be back. I've been so excited to film again. It feels so weird talking in front of the camera, but for my first video back, I figured I would just catch you guys up on my reading so far this year, and just talk a little bit about the books that I've been reading. And yeah, so just catch you guys up, be on the same page. So without further ado, let's get into my recent reads. All right, so I have come up with a list of some of the books that I would like to talk about today. I'm not going to mention everything that I've read because some of them were just not memorable at all and just lost in the sauce. But I have a list here of a couple books that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and that either I liked, was disappointed by, or didn't like. I don't know why it's taking me so long to explain this because it's very simple. It's just my recent reads. So I'm just gonna get right into the books. The first book that I want to talk about is Arsenic and Adobo, and this is by Mia P. Menansala. And this is actually so much fun to read. In this book we follow our main character, Lila, and she moves back home after a bad relationship. She moves back home and she is working in her aunt's diner, either aunt or grandma. She's working in her aunt's diner, and one day one of her ex-boyfriends come into the diner and they ended on bad note. Her ex-boyfriend's kind of like a dick, and while he's eating a food that she gave him, he ends up dying, and then it turns into this murder investigation. And Lila and a couple of her friends decide to take the investigation into their own hands and figure out who really wanted this guy dead, because everybody is blaming Lila. So this book was really fun. I would almost describe it as a cozy mystery. You're trying to figure out who really killed this guy, but then at the same time we get aspects of family and friendship and everything like that in the story. And I thought my favorite part of the book was the culture aspects, learning about all the different foods. And I just love books with food in it. It was so I wanted to try everything. But overall I ended up giving this 3.5 stars, just because it was something fun. It didn't really blow my mind away, but I did really enjoy my time reading it. So I would definitely recommend if that sounds interesting, and I'm glad I read it. The next book that I want to talk about is The Lion's Den by Catherine St. John. I read this recently and I really had a good time with this. In this book we are following our main character. So we are following our main character, Belle, and Belle has this friend, Summer, and they've been friends since they were about 16, but their friendship is a little shady if you ask me. So Summer is the type of person where she loves attention, and she loves attention from men, and she loves attention from rich men, and she knows this about herself. She will go to any lengths, she will date any guy as long as they have money, as long as they're giving her some of that money. And Summer's well aware of this, and so is Belle. And it's kind of like a mystery type of book almost, because something has happened between Belle and Summer, and we really don't know what, but in the midst of their little rift, Summer invites Belle and a couple of their friends on this cruise, on her birthday cruise, paid for by her new rich boyfriend, who is this older, creepy, super controlling guy. And Belle is just like, I don't know why I got invited, but it's a 7-day, all expenses paid cruise trip, so I'm gonna go. So Belle ends up going, and we basically start seeing just how controlling this guy is, and then we start seeing parts of Summer and getting hints of their friendship. And this is told in two different timelines. So you see their friendship from when they first met up until the point of the boat, and then we're all obviously following like what's going on in the boat, like on the boat and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed my time with this one as well. First of all, Summer is a character, okay? The entire time I'm reading this, I'm just like, this girl is insane. But you know, props to her that she's getting her money, okay? She's getting the money the way that she wants to get her money. And then Belle as a main character was just very annoying. Like, there were certain parts in the book where she was like, this is a little sketchy and I don't feel okay with this, but I'm going to go along with it anyways. And I'm like, girl, why? And every time she'd be like, I want to leave this boat early, but I guess there's only 3 more days of this cruise, so I'll just stick it up. And I'm just like, you're not having fun. You don't even like this girl. And 3, like, all dude is controlling when you guys eat, sleep, and drink. So what fun are you really having? But you know, the mystery aspect was still fun. I still enjoyed it. The next book that I want to talk about is He Started It by Samantha Downing. Now, everyone knows that My Lovely Wife was one of my favorite books from last year. I absolutely loved it. The writing, the story, the vindictive nature. I just ate that shit up. I absolutely loved it. So when I heard that she was coming out with a new book last year, which is He Started It, I was like, auto buy, let's do it, let's get it in cart, shipped to my house. And then I read it, and this one disappointed me so much. It's almost heartbreaking how much I was disappointed by this book. So we're following a group of siblings, and the main perspective of one of the siblings. I've already forgotten names, but that's not surprising. So we follow a cast of siblings, and it's a dual timeline again. Like, we get, okay, so basically this group of siblings haven't spoken to each other in years. Okay, so when they were younger, their grandpa basically picked them up and was like, we're going on like this cross-country road trip type thing. And so all of them go on this road trip, and something happens during this road trip that just like spoils the sibling dynamic. And there's like this huge secret. So then fast forward like years later, they're all adults now, and their grandpa has passed away, and he left them like this large sum of money, and the only way that they can get access to this money is if they all get back together and go on this road trip one more time. And like, as a reader, you know that something has happened on this road trip when they were younger that makes everybody a little hesitant on like being around each other again, and you're just trying to figure out like what happened. So this one was just okay. Like, nothing really exciting happened, at least to me. I mean, it was fun reading it, but like the twist wasn't like shock. I was expecting like blow your mind, like what the heck is happening type of thing, and it just didn't deliver that, and I'm so sad. I wanted to love this so much, but just the characters are all unlikable, and I don't mind reading about unlikable characters, but there was just something I just it didn't get that you know what I mean, like it didn't. I just wasn't blown away, and I'm so sad. And I know she has a new book out this year, For Your Own Good, I think that's what it's called. But now I'm just like, oh, I don't know if I should buy it. So I'm probably gonna check it out from the library and read it that way. But I was so disappointed. I mean, it's not a bad book, but like, I loved My Lovely Wife so much, and I had such high expectations for this book, and it didn't deliver. It did not deliver. The next book that I want to talk about is, well, the next two books actually, but I don't have the second book with me. Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. This is like a cult booktube favorite. Everyone loves this series that I've seen, and I was so excited to pick it up. Everyone was talking about how lyrical her writing is, and I was just like, I want to experience that. And especially since like I was in such a slump, I just wanted something beautiful. I wanted something heartwarming, you know? I didn't like it. I did not like it at all. So, for those of you who don't know what Daughter of Smoke and Bone is about, it is a trilogy where we follow a girl. In the first book, we follow a girl named Karu, and she works with a guy named Brimstone, and she kind of runs missions for Brimstone, collecting teeth and stuff like that. And she's really not sure, like, she doesn't remember much of her childhood, almost. Like, she knows something about her is different. She knows that she's like missing parts of her memories, but she just thinks like everything is normal. She's not really human. There's a whole nother world that she was a part of, and in this world there has been a huge war between two different groups. It's like a forbidden love subplot of a romance, but then you also have this fantastical element of like the war, the like the portal to the human worlds, and then like different worlds. I don't know how to explain this book. So we basically follow Karu as she starts to discover things about herself, starts to discover the world that she was once a part of, and the war that's happening, and how she's involved in that. And while the writing was beautiful, I was so bored. I was so incredibly bored. This book is thick, okay? And the second book, which I did also read, is even more thick. Okay, these two books together can take somebody out, and it was boring. Like, it took me so long to get through book 2 that I was just like, I can't do it. I didn't feel connected to the characters. I didn't feel connected to the love story. Like, I just felt like it did not slap the way everybody was amping this up. I was just so sad. I was so sad. It just didn't work for me, and needless to say, we're not continuing the series. I put myself through books 1 and 2, and I don't even care to see how book 3 ends. Like, I don't care to see how this war ends. I don't, like, there's no intrigue for me. Baby, this was an L. Like, I don't know, bruh. So I think I'm just gonna keep going with the books that I have physical copies of, and then pop pictures up on the screen for the books that I no longer have. So the next 3 books I'm going to be talking about are romances, and I actually really enjoyed all 3 of these, and I feel like romances kind of helped me through this tough time I was having with reading, because all of these slapped. I love them. So the first one that I want to be talking about is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. This one has been hyped all over BookTube, and honestly, for good reason. I loved it. So in this book, we are following Piper, and Piper is like this spoiled rich kid, and she's like this socialite type of person. Her dad's like a big movie producer, and one day she gets into some big trouble, and her dad's like, bro, you need to chill out a little bit, so I'm taking your ass and we're shipping you off to like buttfuck nowhere like fishing town, okay? So Piper's like, I don't belong there. Like, do you see me? I don't belong in no fisherman town. But anyways, she gets shipped off to the town, and she basically has to figure out what she's really doing with her life. And then she meets this fisherman, Brandon, and they don't get on the best footing, but they end up striking a friendship. Brandon is like this grumpy character. It's not really enemies to lovers. He's just a grump. I had to check if his name is Brandon. But yeah, he's just a grump, and him and Piper are just so cute. Like, I loved everything about this. This book was so steamy. I was not expecting the level of steam that we got, but ooh, I loved it. I loved everything about this. Piper was like this annoying socialite type of person, and normally that would annoy me, but I wasn't as annoyed in this book. And next romance that I want to talk about is no other than At Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. This came out earlier this year in like March, and this is the last book of the Brown sister trilogy. So Eve is the chaotic sister. She jumps from job to job, and she really hasn't found her place yet. And after her last business debacle where she just stormed off and quit, her parents are like, bruh, we can't do this anymore. You need to find something sustainable, or we're going to cut you off. And Eve just gets in her car and she starts driving, and she makes it to the like small like bed and breakfast, and she sees that there's a job posting to become a chef. So she goes and she just decides to, you know, interview for this job as a chef, knowing damn well homegirl has no like experience being a chef, but you know, she goes through with it anyways. And the bed and breakfast owner, I forgot his name, Jacob is kind of very strict. He likes things in order, and he's not really vibing with Eve's chaotic energy, and Eve ends up running over his foot with her car, and she feels really bad about this. So she decides to stick around a little bit just to help him out running the bed and breakfast, because she's like, you know, I'm responsible, blah blah blah. So she stays there, and of course there's the romance, and this book is so sweet. It was so fun. I didn't think this one was as steamy as the other two, but Eve is such a great character. She's so funny. She's very caring, almost to like, she's very caring, and just I loved both of these characters. Jacob was also very like grumpy, but he was also so sweet to Eve, and just I absolutely love this book. If you have yet to read the Brown Sister series, please just go and read it. I will say that Danny Brown is still my favorite Brown sister. And it's so weird because I mean, like, Danny Brown is the book that like I've seen most people like the least, but I just resonated so much with Danny, like the workaholic. Just she touched me, man. I love Danny. But Eve was great too. All these books are great. They're steamy, they're fun, they all have some type of mental health representation as well as disability rep. So I just love the writing, I love the humor. These books are automatically going to be comfort reads for me, and I feel like everybody should pick them up. The last romance that I want to talk about is Shipped by Angie Hockman. This one is kind of like the Hating Game meets the Unhoneymooners. So we have these two characters who are going for the same promotion, and the girl doesn't like the guy, and they have to go on a cruise and kind of pitch the best, like pitch a sales tactic to get more people to sign up for these cruise and stuff like that. This was fun. It was fine. It was what I needed at the moment. There was nothing like mind-blowing about it. I thought the romance was cute. The main character kind of got annoying at some points. Like, sometimes she just did too much, because like the guy wasn't really mean to her in any way. Like, he was just there and she was just angry, but for like no reason at all. But I ended up really enjoying it. It was nice, it was fun, it was fluffy. It was what I wanted. Now into books that I don't have because they were unhauled. The first being Every Value Break by Peter Swanson. So, in this book we follow a woman who is engaged and she's just about to get married, and she goes on her bachelorette trip, and in her bachelorette trip she cheats and she has an affair with this random guy that she meets at their resort. But after that affair, she decided that sealed the deal. She didn't need to be nervous about marrying her husband anymore, because like it was kind of like an aha moment for her. Like, okay, I really want to marry this guy. So she doesn't tell her husband about it. They get married, and he takes her on this honeymoon to like this remote creepy island type vibes. And at this island she discovers that the guy that she slept with is also there. So she's trying to figure out like why she's getting such creepy vibes from this island, and why and how the guy that she slept with managed to like be on the same remote island for her honeymoon. That premise had me geeked. I was so excited. It sounded so good, and let me tell y'all how fucking just disappointing this book was. This was so bad. This was so bad. Like the twist, like just there's nothing I liked about this book. There's nothing. It had so much potential and I felt like it was just wasted. The twist was mediocre at best. The characters were flat. The main character there was more knowledge in my pinky than she had in her head. Just head empty. Nobody was home. The entire book just I didn't like it. The next book that I want to talk about is They Never Learn. I forgot the author, but of course the picture will be up here. And this one we are following a professor who is a serial killer, and she works around her college campus, basically killing predators, sexual predators, and it was fun. I like this one. Nothing surprising really happened, honestly. There was like one tiny bit surprise, but for the premise, I actually just like enjoyed my time reading it. I enjoyed learning how she killed these men, because they deserved it, to be honest. But it was lots of fun. I enjoyed it. There's not much to it. It was just a quick, I wouldn't really call it a thriller though. It was more mystery, suspense. Is she gonna get caught? How is she gonna get caught? Type of thing. And I really enjoyed it. I liked it, and I would recommend it. The last book that I want to talk to you guys about is City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert. This was also another disappointment. So we are following our main character, already forgot their name, but we're following our main character from when she's 19, basically through her entire life. It's another like rich girl, you're not doing a lot with your life, so parents are gonna ship you off to your aunt in New York type of story. So she moves to New York to stay with her aunt Peggy, and her aunt owns this rundown theater, and she's basically working there. She's in New York, she's 19. It's basically a book following her throughout her life, the lessons that she learns, her relationships, friendships, all that jazz. And I picked this up because it was compared to the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and that is one of my all-time favorite books. I loved it. Chef's kiss, beautiful. This was boring. I did not like this at all. It's like a historical fiction chick lit type of thing, and I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. The main character was flat. The relationships were boring. There was nothing exciting happening. There was one exciting part, and I thought, and like once I read that, I was like, okay, we're in it now. The story's about to take off. We're about to have fun. And it just went back to being boring again. It was so boring. And this book is too thick to be this boring. I did not have a good time. I did not have a good time. I don't know how I made it through that book, but we did. And it wasn't it for me. I'm sorry. Like, there was no point to the book. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So those are all the books that I wanted to share with you guys, give you guys my thoughts on. I tried to choose ones that are popular, so they were ones that surprised me, disappointed me, things like that, and share them with you guys. I'm so excited to be back making new videos. Hopefully there will be more videos coming, some more vlogs. I really loved filming vlogs, so I'm hoping to get back to that. But let me know what you guys have been reading, what you guys have been enjoying. Fall is coming. Fall is my favorite season. I thrive. I loved it. I feel like all the fall vibe books are just amazing, and that's another video I'm going to be filming. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you aren't, and I'll see you guys with another video soon. Bye.